Hello and welcome to the Genuine Learning Blog. My name is Melissa Galasso, and this very exciting Thanksgiving week, I'm excited to do a very short blog with you on a proposal to make some changes to the financial instruments suite. So this one's a little bit unusual. It is literally changing a variety of different standards, but it is calling attention to a particular area of focus. So the title is Codification Improvements Financial Instruments, and this is a proposal issued by the FASB to deal with their financial instruments suite. It was issued back on November 19th and comments are due December 19th. So a very short 30-day comment period here. And what we're looking at in this scenario are changes to all of the major standards. So as a reminder, there are three ASUs, there's actually more than three ASUs now, that have been issued as part of the financial instrument suite. So the originals were ASU 2016-01, which is recognition and measurement, ASU 2016-13, which is the current expected credit loss or the new model for impairment related to our financial instrument. And then ASU 2017-12, which is our hedging. And they were issued as three separate standards related to an overall project related to financial instruments. As we've gone through, there have been changes made to some of these standards already. This is proposing even more changes. Now, this is really what we would consider to be a codification improvement. So this is not trying to make massive overhaul. This is trying to help with implementation, trying to answer questions, clarifying, correcting. So in some scenarios, there's literally typos, bad connections and links. So these are not supposed to be these huge items that are going to make a big difference. In some cases, the clarifications are super helpful. However, it is being issued separately than their normal codification improvements because it's related to this financial instrument suite. So the first section of the update is related to this TRG. So just like they did with revenue recognition, they created a transition resource group. They met with the FASB in June of 2018, and they made some recommendations of changes regarding accrued interest, transfers, and recoveries. And so as a result of that meeting, the FASB is issuing some codification improvements in those areas. In addition, they're also making specific changes to the CECL model, which is ASU 2016-13. As I said, that's the current expected credit loss. And this major change here is going to now incorporate future-looking information into the calculation regarding the quality of a financial instrument and what it should be on the books for. And so there's some incorrect cross-references. There's some new cross-references that are being added. They're clarifying the scope of the project, specifically related to reinsurance recoverables. They've added some guidance related to projections of interest rates. So as I said, this is very future looking, so they needed some more guidance here. Consideration of prepayments in determining the effective interest rate, consideration of estimated costs to sell when foreclosure is probable. So remember, a lot of this times we're going to be dealing with distressed securities as part of that process. So these are just, as I said, codification improvements. In addition, hedging, ASU 2017-12, we have seen a lot of simplification here. People were really excited about some of the simplifications. However, some questions popped up, specifically nonprofits and scope. Consideration of the hedge contractually specified interest rate under a hypothetical derivative model. So again, one of the nice things is that you can actually look at specified rates, just like you can look at components now under the hedging model. And so they're giving some additional information there. Disclosure of fair value hedge basis adjustments, amortization of fair value hedge basis adjustments, and partial term fair value hedges of interest rate risk. So again, a lot going on in the hedging world. In addition, there is some transition guidance that has to be included in here, and two other areas related to hedge accounting related to nonprofit and private companies, as well as cash flow. So as I said, there are a lot of little things that are in here. If any of these are impacting you, I would definitely recommend reading the proposal. For 2016-01, which is recognition and measurement, they're actually going out of their way to declare that health and welfare plans account for under 965 when they're looking at the scope. It clarifies the intent to exempt entities other than public business entities from fair value disclosures. So for example, if you have something at amortized cost, one of the nice things about 2016-01 is that today, if it's at amortized cost on the balance sheet, you still had to do fair value disclosures. For private companies, there's an exception to that. So they're clarifying the scope. It requires an entity remeasure an equity security without a readily determinable fair value at fair value when you do have. So that was one of the questions. There is a new method when there is no readily determinable fair value, and there's a new impairment test. So now when we do have a readily determinable fair value, they do require that. And then remeasurement of equity securities at historical exchange rates. So again, just addressing some of those issues as people have been trying to adopt. And then another TRG meeting happened in November of 2018, and this is related to vintage disclosures and contractual extensions and renewals. So as I said, this is a what we would consider to be an overall technical correction. It's just a lot of things, and they wanted to put them all together because they're related to the financial instruments project. So hopefully if you have financial instruments, which remember accounts receivable is a financial instrument, so if you have financial instruments that are subject to any of these standards, if you have hedges or swaps and things of that nature, you probably want to take a look at some of these proposed changes. And again, very short comment period, but again, as we look at this, the TRG has been very, very involved, and these are hopefully helpful in terms of what their impact is. So I hope that you enjoyed the blog today. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and be on the lookout for a very special sale that we'll be doing for Small Business Saturday. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you on a future blog. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.